Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 10 levels from the most popular queue, so in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 viewer submitted levels, starting off with this one. Contra Stage 1 recreated by MeeM, with 19 plays and a score of 0. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below, or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the links to the timestamps of all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. I already played the recreation of Stage 3 by the same level author, so let's see how this one fares. We have the bridge just like before, but we cannot jump down into the water yet. Also, we're missing a background here. I guess these are the replacements for those cannon enemies. And now in the second segment after the water segment, jumping over the cliff sides I guess. It's been quite a while since I last played Contra though. You know, playing as base would be more accurate to Contra considering he can auto rapid fire. Not to mention he can fire diagonally. And here's a rocket launcher. And here we fight this big base originally, instead we fight Nightman, who is completely defenseless here and cannot hit us whatsoever. Honestly, I would have preferred if there was a water segment at the bottom, because that would be more faithful to the original stage. Plus, this was rather short. So next up is Contra Stage 2 recreated by the same author with 16 plays and a score of 4. I wonder how this will be recreated, because in the original Contra this was a behind the character shooting gallery stage. Okay, so it's done in a side-scrolling fashion. And these elect beam traps act like the electric barriers. And now we can fire diagonally, what with the metal blade. Although unfortunately it would be more accurate if the elect beam traps were firing upwards, but that's not possible in this engine. So close enough, I suppose. And that's it, the stages are rather short with the recreations. In fact, because of how short it is and the fact it's Bubble Man we're fighting, a lot easier than the original boss fight in fact, I will cover stage 4 as well. I mean, these are so short, might as well just cover the next one. Usually I only cover up to 2 levels from the same author, but as this is so short, I might as well do a third one by the same one. So that was the end of the second stage recreation. Still, I would like to see it taken further because it's so much easier than the original. To the point where it's just... bleh. So third up is the fourth stage recreation, also by MeeM. It got pretty good scores, better than the previous ones. And we fight Bubble Man again. Hopefully this is his redemption. So I guess this is the next gallery shooter stage. It is a bit tougher though with the increased usage of these elect block traps, as well as the more difficult enemy placements. I mean, if these could fire upwards, this stage would be a lot more difficult. And now we have a weakness for the boss. Just in case, I'll do a quick reset here in case I die. You never know. Once again, Bubble Man is completely defenseless. Well, at least he has some allies in the form of these tellies, so it isn't as bad. Plus, I can end his suffering much faster with his weakness. Thank you for including that, MeeM. So that was the end of the 4th stage recreation. Out of the 4 recreations I played so far, I say the 3rd one is my favorite, but still they feel rather below par. 4th on the lineup is Demonic Machine by Arkki with 23 plays and a score of 2. This was a submission for the 2017 Mega Man Maker level design contest, and I suppose it was submitted under the challenge level category, judging by all the spikes and the charge kick air jumps I'll inevitably need to do. And I'll inevitably fail multiple times. Can't go there. Nope, of course, time to go down. Can I please have a checkpoint soon? That'd be really appreciated. Oh no, how do you do this? Double charge kick jumping, which is rather precise. I need to do the air jump just to the right of that left spike, and do it again there. I don't think I'll be able to complete this level. It's just really outside my preferences, and as I talked about throughout this LP, I really am not too keen on these precision-based challenge levels. Let's see what the rest of the stage has to offer. I won't be able to complete it, but someone else may like it and may be able to complete it. This segment doesn't look too bad, because we just fall directly downwards. And there's a checkpoint right over here after that difficult segment. And now there are more spikes. It does look like an evil machine, what with the teeth and energy elements utilized as eyes, so this stage does definitely get its aesthetics correctly. Wow, this is pretty tight over here. You need to know how to utilize the double air jump or double charge kick in order to survive this stage, and do it correctly. Yikes. Even here you need to squeeze in properly and then get in and grab in this ladder. I would have preferred if there was double the amount of checkpoints, but once again, I'm saying this from the perspective of a player who isn't that good at these levels anyway. And then we fight Time Man over here, whose weakness, I guess, is a topspin. Yep, he's immune against the charge kick though. Oh well, even if you run out of topspin energy, you will have a full refill over here, so it does make up for that. So I can't properly evaluate this stage, someone else will probably be able to. At least the stage was designed with purpose, and it does have a proper difficulty curve, although it starts out really difficult and gets even more difficult from here on out. I only recommend the stage to advanced or very advanced Mega Man Maker players. 5th on the lineup is SCWN-010 Dojo Man by Jethawk74 with 11 plays and a score of 2. And I believe SCWN stands for Social Contract Worker Number. And it seems it's going to be at least 40 to 50 screens long. At least we'll have a whole litany of special weapons and utilities. You know, for a change, let's play as base for a change. I played it a lot as Proto Man in the previous part. And base does gain access to item 1, 2, and 3, and he has 2 different versions of treble boost that do the same thing, basically. Well, at least we have 2 stocks then. Though considering that base has a lower powered buster, it's best to use special weapons. I'd rather use Base for his double jumping ability. And those ladders are acting like the Dojo entrance. I recall there being a Roadmaster also made by Jethawk called Dojo Man, but I may be misremembering. And knowing Jethawk's design, most of these stages are doable buster only. And unfortunately, as I'm playing as Base, I can't slide under those enemy projectiles. So far so good. I actually like the dojo design quite a bit. Based on the structure alone, it does feel like a dojo, aesthetically. And I do like how each of the rooms is separated by all of these buster blocks. Good checkpoint placement. About where I'd place it if this was a traditional level. Probably a good place to try out the treble boost. Especially because I don't need to worry about knockback. It seems that the treble boost buster shots won't blow up those blocks though. Makes sense. Okay, so now we have some forced item usage. We can either use treble boost or use item 2. Let's use item 2. And now we have an alternate pathway, probably leading to some extra goodies. Yep, for any tank. Be careful not to press down on the springs, otherwise it's an instant death sentence. Thank you for the refill over there. Kind of a freebie though. So now a force beam segment. Oh, and of course there's Yoko blocks there. So there's no force damage. I do like how the stage is doable even if you play as Proto Man, Mega Man, or Bass. I mean, there's no places where you need to slide in through a block in order to progress onwards. Or rather, you're forced to. The only problem are these segments where you're almost forced to take a hit, unless you do some careful double jumping, or use a special weapon. Another freebie tank? Well, I won't complain. I suppose this will be the final segment, or the one before the final segment. And I was right, this is the final segment. That was the last Power Muscler guard before the boss fight against the Dojo Master Skullman. We seem to be encountering a lot more Skullman in this game. So that was the end of Dojo Man stage. I definitely liked the aesthetics. It really felt like I was in a modified dojo. Challenge progression was nice, and I like how you had the option to play as either Mega Man, Proto Man, or Bass, each with their own pros and cons. Although nearing the end, I feel it would have been better to play as perhaps Mega Man or Proto Man, considering some of those slides with the presses. Sixth on the lineup is the Elevator version 2 by MAGMAX with 12 plays and a score of 4. So back to classic Mega Man. And we see all these fly boys falling to pits. Well, that was a screw up on my part. I could have made it there if I was a bit more careful. You need to learn how the magnets work if you want to survive here. Especially when you get too close to them and it suddenly shifts your movement patterns. And the spike hitboxes are not helping whatsoever. There we go. I know this stage is called the Elevator, but it really feels like the spike jumping challenge. At least checkpoint placement is on the fair side, especially considering how difficult this segment is. The main things that trip me up for this stage are the spike hitboxes and the magnets. Well, I made it. Now we can enter the elevator itself. Definitely more difficult than the original elevator stage, because the original elevator stage started right over here. Don't shoot unless the enemies shoot back. And it is possible to dodge everything just by jumping properly. like what I didn't do there. Need to be careful of those fan fiends though. They could have pulled me up right off that. And that's that, I guess. The only thing left is the boss fight. The hardest part of the stage was definitely the first part. The elevator at the end was the easiest part. And so that was the end of the Elevator V2. Thank goodness Batman did have a minor weakness against the Mega Buster, otherwise this would have taken twice as long. I find it funny though that I was able to do it damageless. Usually I take 1 or 2 points of damage from the plant barrier. So 7th up is the Elevator version 3, also by MAGMAX, with 20 plays and a score of 4. So let's see how the intro segment as well as the elevator is different. We do have access to the magnet beam for one. Okay, we're starting right off in the elevator. I guess the difference is we'll start immediately here because we have magnets. Also, I really wish we had a checkpoint right over here so we don't need to repeat this sliding. It's a very minor quibble though because it's only for 3 screens. But yikes, do those magnets mess up your movement if you're not careful? It's worse if there are multiple of them at once. And I screwed it up there. Wonderful. Better just restart here because they follow global timers, so I'll have to wait for quite a while for them to return. This is one of those areas where I wish that some sections had local timers. Just make sure not to get knocked off again. Do like the aesthetics near the end, they look a bit nice. Okay, now we actually have a second elevator. Although this one's a freebie, with a lot of pickups on the left and right. Well, okay, this is gonna be something else. I need to keep my position here so I don't fall on the spikes, and oh goody, now it's gonna flip directions. Again, flipping directions every different way. The best option here is to keep jumping so the effect of the magnets is not as great as it usually would be. Yikes, that could have gone really bad near the end. Somehow I was able to gain enough control to go to the right. What was that with flying upwards? Strange. Time to fight Magnet Man on this conveyor belt then. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die over there. My slide button wasn't working. So that was the end of the Elevator V3. Certainly less challenging than V2 in some regards, but more challenging in others because we had that magnet pulling gimmick near the end. So these stages are definitely getting more elaborate, similar to how the later versions of the Water Tower series levels, also by MAGMAX, get more elaborate as the versions increase. 8th and final level to part is Riot at the Space Tower by Brickman-X with 11 plays and a score 0. This was one of the submissions for the 2017 Mega Man Maker level design contest, similar to Demonic Machine by Arkki. Although this did not win first place in one of the 3 categories, I wouldn't qualify this as being a loser. I'd only qualify the levels that won last place in one of the 3 categories as being losers, but even then, I suppose the level designers learned something new about Mega Man level design. Unless they submitted joke entries. I mean, I feel that's one of the reasons you want to participate in these level design contests, to better understand level design for various games. I mean, even the level creators of the infamous levels Yggdrasil and Super Mario Bros. 3 from Magmal 2, they learned something new. If I recall correctly, this is an improved version of the original submission stage that Brickman submitted to the contest, fixing some of the issues. Based on the title, this takes place at a space tower jail where a riot is occurring, and I suppose the Hammer Joes and Coltons are the security guards trying to stave off the riot. I do like the introduction of those gyro platforms, first in a safe environment and a more dangerous one, though the challenge is quickly elevated as well. I'm not sure if this is going to be a non-traditional level or a traditional level. I guess it'll be traditional based off of the level design. I didn't mean to activate time slow there, but I guess worked in my favor. Force beam segment, although this is more on the fair side, and if you fall in, you still have some leniency to jump back on the right one. So far, so good. And I'll gladly go for that E-Tank. For more attentive players who want to go back down there, you can go for it. Although it was really easy, if you were to ask me. And these weapon blocks act like makeshift barricades for the enemies. It makes the challenges a bit harder. Especially for stuff like the robots. And I spy an M-Tank over there. Good checkpoint placement. Thank you for the full refill. I guess this is a mini-boss room or something. Yep, a mini-boss room. With these two Sniper Joes. Oh, that's a neat setup. We can see that Sniper Joe to the left will keep cycling between the bottom and top conveyor belts. A level designer did something similar in a previous part with a gachapon, but that ended up glitching out a bit. This one works wonders. So creative design there. That looks neat. I guess we're gonna shimmy between each of the teleporters. Oh, whoops. I see. I need to destroy those junk blocks in order to proceed onwards, but those robots will try sniping me off of this ladder. That's one section down, next one. Yeah, I'm dead. Maybe not. Well, I was lucky with damage boosting there. I survived with just 1 point of health, so I think I'm gonna die instantaneously in the next room. Especially with that Benkei over there. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die over there. Time Slow works wonders in this level combined with the ring boomerang. Well, that was a bit timed badly. There we go. Had the damage boost quite a bit over there, but at least I made it. Let's hope the next room isn't too bad. Plus, I do have a spare E-tank, which I may need to utilize. Oh no, 2 of these hot dogs. Ring boomerang time, I guess. Yeah, I'm using the E-tank right now. So that's both of the hot dogs down. Hopefully there's a checkpoint nearby. And there is one right over here, as well as a full refill. Thank you, Brickman. This is an interesting set of challenge rooms you have here. In fact, I'd say this is my favorite level to part, despite its difficulty. I mean, I died one more time off screen. But even then, this is a pretty neat fortress level. And this leads back over here. And this leads back to the M-Tank, I guess. Yep, there it is. I wonder what that block on the right means. I guess that'll be present in a future level or something. To the top of the tower we go. We just need to race upwards here, I guess. almost screwed it up over there. And I do see that lone red force beam, so... Oops, I jumped too high there, but I guess I don't need it. I need to wait for this to get back. Okay, thank you. Well, at least we have the option to use time slow to make this a bit easier. I didn't expect to have a rapid force beam jumping segment here. And the junk blocks do protect against the force beams. But you need to be fast over here if you want to survive, so time slow again. Nonetheless, this is a neat way to end the level. I guess we're on the top of the space tower now. You're really surprising me with your creativity here, Brickman. I expected the stage to end off with that gauntlet, but no, it's continuing on here. And overall, it's pretty fair. Checkpoint placement is nice, and you can complete the stage buster only, but having access to special weapons makes it a lot easier. Thank you for the symbol. I knew it would be a bottom spit, but I just wanted to check and see if there's any secrets. So overall, a pretty good fortress level. 7 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I half expected that to happen. Oh, okay, so this segment continues onwards. This stage is certainly longer than what I expected, and each segment is unique, so it doesn't feel repetitive at the very least. Well, I see... ML... Okay, so... neat! That's a neat way of using the Susies to spell out the contest abbreviation. Another plus for the stage. And down we go, I guess. A very neat way to have credits. It'd be even better if they spelled out Brickman. Overall, 7.5 or even an 8 out of 10 if I want to be generous. Time to fight Bomb Man with these blocks, okay then? Those yoga blocks protect me. Nice! Rats, I see. And they switch direction too. Well, this boss fight is certainly unique and tougher than what I expected. At the very least, you will have full weapons just before the fight, and after every failure. Time slow... I guess it's Atomic Fire then. Yep, it's Atomic Fire, definitely. Still, this is a neat way of having a fortress boss, effectively. What with these Yoku blocks holding back the yellow force beams of injury. So definitely my favorite level to part, and one of my favorite fortress levels since the last dozens or so parts. So grand work, Brickman. So overall, out of the 8 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Riot at the Space Tower by MMMX, with an honorable mention going to the Elevator Version 3 by MAGMAX. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more Virus mid levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!